QYLD pays over 11%, close to 12% a year right now. So in theory, if you put $100,000 into it, you'd expect to make about $12,000 annually. Sounds great, right? Well, the problem is you might actually be making less money. And most people investing in this don't even realize it. In this video, I'm going to show you what actually would happen if you were to put $100,000 into QYLD and why the income isn't as good as it looks. In fact, it can be a trap. And at the end, I'm going to show you a better way to do this, and it's probably not the one you're thinking of. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I do want to put out a disclaimer that nothing in this video is financial advice. Please do your own research and always consult with a financial professional. Now, one of the reasons QYLD is so popular is because of this yield. Over the last 12 months, it's paid about 12.7%, and right now it's running at about 11.9% annually. And it pays monthly, which makes it even more attractive. So yeah, on the surface, this looks amazing, but this is where things start to get misleading. Because that 12% yield doesn't mean your investment is actually growing. In fact, in many cases, it's not. See, with a fund like QYLD, you're getting paid income, but you're giving up a big part of the upside. So while the market goes up, this fund often doesn't keep up. So let's go back to that $100,000. You might be collecting around $12,000 a year in income, but if your investment isn't growing or worse, it's slowly declining, you're not actually ahead. You're just getting your money back in a different form. And that's the part most people miss. They see the income, but they don't look at the total return.
So, what you're telling me is that the music is about to stop, and we're going to be left holding the biggest bag of odorous excrement.
Okay, so let's say that you had put $100,000 into QYLD in March 2025. And QYLD was trading at about $16.63. You'd have bought roughly 6,013 shares. Over the next 12 months, between that time and now, March 2026, QYLD paid about $2.04 per share in total distribution, so you would have received about $12,296 in gross income. At a 35% federal tax rate, that shrinks to about $7,993 after tax. And by March 2026, with QYLD trading around $16.77, your shares themselves would have been worth about $100,842. So your grand total after taxes would have been $108,835. And that's the punchline. The yield looks huge, but your actual after-tax ending capital was only about 8.8% higher, not some magical clean 12% you got to keep. I hope that by now you realize that QYLD, even though the yield is pretty high on paper, is not really all that it's cracked up to be. So that begs the question, is there a better option? And the first ETF that comes to mind is JEPI. And don't get me wrong, JEPI is a great fund. It's the largest one. But in 2026, there might be a better option for you.
What do you have for us?
The ETF I'm going to cover here is a solution to this tax dilemma. It's SPY. And as you can see, the distribution is actually quite similar to QYLD. But having said this, there is a game changer that I'm going to be talking to you about, and that's tax efficiency. What is really cool, something I really like about SPY is that it uses 1256 contracts, which in turn give you a 60-40 tax rate, meaning 60% of the income you derive from the ETF It's actually taxed at the long-term capital gains, saving you quite a bit of money. Hopefully this video made sense to you, and income is really good. Don't get me wrong. High yield is very attractive, but it's not so much about how much income you generate. It's really how well the fund does relative to the market, and also how efficient tax-wise it really is. Thank you so much again. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. The sentiment and focus of this channel is on covered call ETFs, and my promise to you is to put out a piece of content every single week. Thanks again, and have a prosperous rest of your week.